Danny Woodburn on the Woodburn Ratio. Tell us about the Woodburn Ratio.
So the Woodburn Ratio is an idea that I came up with in meeting with Bryan Cranston. As you probably are aware, Bryan worked on this film, The Upside. He played a quadriplegic character. And there was a lot of sort of uproar that came out from the disability community about him taking that role. And the philosophy has always been, well, isn't it acting? And I agree, it is acting. And I think anybody should be able to play any role. But I don't think we should be able to dismiss the access to opportunity, the access to employment as an acceptable part of that kind of casting, right? So we can't just dismiss that as that's not really part of the equation, because it is part of the equation. Part of the equation is that people with disabilities don't get the same opportunity. We don't get the same education. We don't get the same access to representation. And we don't get the same access to auditions. So you have to acknowledge that that's part of the equation. And the best way to acknowledge that is if you are going to take a role from someone who has disability, who could potentially play that role. And like I said, we're not going to get to that point of being an A-list character, A-list performer like Bryan Cranston, somebody with marquee name, someone whose name is going to appear on the marquee underneath the title of the film, right? But it's going to say The Upside, Bryan Cranston, right? So we're not going to get that opportunity to be in his position to sell a picture if we can't get the same kinds of opportunities that he's had coming up. And so I feel it incumbent upon those that take these opportunities away to give them back, right? So I said to Bryan, look, if you're going to be in a position like this where you take a role from a person with disability, then you have to give back 3. So for every 1 role you take as a performer who's A-list character or a director or producer who's saying, we want to cast this person who's not disabled in this disabled role, we will make sure to cast 3 others. And I've had directors speak to me directly about it and ask me, tell me what that is and why do you do it? And the studios and directors are very amenable to the idea. And I think it's a way for us to create access and to create opportunity for people with disabilities to be on screen and working.
For more information, visit theavaproject.org.